Hi my peeps, hope you guys are having a great day. Today B and I are talking about walking and running animations. I know you guys have asked and I hope I deliver. I appreciate it B, and without further ado let's jump right in. So the way I decided to go about this is splitting the video into 3 parts. If your figure has little to no foot articulation, if it has a lot of foot articulation, and how you can kind of cheat with either method. Basically starting with the hardest and getting easier as we go. Starting off with the hardest, a perfect example is B. Not really a bad thing, you just gotta be creative when you do your thing with figures like him. Starting off is always the most difficult for any figure. Some people just have their figures slide across the surface or they move too quickly through the walk sequence that you can barely see the figure move at all. But with walking, it's really just a few frames and a lot of balancing. Like mentioned in my first tutorial, if you have mounting putty or even figure stands, it'll be a piece of cake. To start off, just have your figure standing in a corner like so. Once you get this set up, we'll start having B walk. I can't stress this enough. Easing in and easing out are your best friends. I'll show you what I mean and then show you how I did it. Go ahead and take a couple steps, B. There you go. Pretty easy breezy, I think. Now to break it down. For the first few frames, you barely want to move your figure. This applies to every aspect of stop motion. Makes it look a little bit smoother in my personal opinion, but you guys can do whatever you like. After you do a few frames of slowly beginning the movement, you want to start off by slowly moving the figure's body like he's going to take his first step, as shown. Once you get past this, essentially you want to use the figure's arms as counterweights like you do in real life to prevent him from falling over. Believe it or not, that's actually the hardest part. Once you get past this, it's just essentially repeating the same thing over and over until you want him to stop. When you want the character to stop, just do like shown. And that's pretty much it. Now to if your character has really good foot posability. Scourge would be my example. He has a lot of forward movement and a decent amount backwards, perfect for walking animations. Same concept applies for figures like him, but you'll be able to give him fancy feet every time he takes a step. Here are 2 examples. And now to round us off, how to cheat your way around making a good walk cycle. In my Scourge upgrade video, I use this method to make my cleanest walk cycle to date. Essentially, if you want to do a walk cycle but aren't comfortable doing the upper body stuff, just do this. Hold the fig off camera. Basically, if you have a camera angle that hides most of the figure aside from the legs, you can actually hold the figure's torso to make sure he doesn't fall over and give you some more flexibility in stabilizing your figure, like so. Throughout those steps, my hand was on his torso, keeping him from falling over. In order to get comfortable with it, I would do a majority of practice on figs that have good foot posability so you can get used to it. Then you can go from there. Now for running, it's basically the same thing. You gotta ease the fig into motion and then he starts running. I'll use some footage from a previous video as an example, starting with Cheetor. Once Cheetor pulls out his spear, you see he barely moves and then starts running. I know the angle's a bit weird, but you still see what I'm talking about. Running takes a lot of time to do right and it's pretty time consuming, so I usually do only a few steps for running before the figure runs off camera. I'm not going to go too much in depth about running since all the concepts behind walking apply here too, just more added on. Best way to start off a run cycle is to kind of squish your character and then launch him into those first few steps. And that's pretty much it. As always, it took a lot of practice to be able to do proper walk cycles and run animations, but let me know your thoughts and what you would like to see with episode 4. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, share this with anybody you would like, and also keep an eye out for next week as my first Christmas special is coming out. Till then, my peeps, Thunder out!